Morning and welcome back to One Grumpy Old Man and His Classics.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
Need to get on with a little bit of some paintwork jobs on the BMW. I'll take you in for a look, but I'm not quite sure what I've done wrong in the painting process. But anyway, let's go and have a look. So, I don't know if you remember, right near the start of this recommissioning, light restoration of the BMW, but this corner of this rear door and the corner of the front door had been hit and damaged, not badly, but there was some body damage. And I've known the car long before I purchased it. Well, I know of the car from when my mate bought it all them years ago, and it was dented then, so it wasn't something that he'd done. But yeah, can you see how the paint has not, it's reacted? Something has caused that to react, and I'm not quite sure what, because I painted the bottom of both doors completely. So now you'd think there'd be a lot, it would all react, but the only place it's reacted in or on is where I filled it. So where I've actually done the filler repairs is only where the paint has reacted. So now somebody might tell me, I'm not sure. But so the filler I used, it was a previously opened tin that had been on the shelf for about a year or so. So does filler go off? I don't know. That's all I can think. So anyway, I was never happy with the repair that I'd done, because at certain angles with certain shine on it, you know, like light on it, there was some rippling, so I hadn't done a very good job. So I'm going to strip it all back and redo it all. So let's get these trims off. That means take door panels off, etc, etc, etc. I know that you can take the door trim, not this door trim, but the actual rubbing strip that's on the doors. I know you can take them off by just unclipping them, but there's always the danger that you can break the clips, because they're quite old now, you know, nearly 40 years old, and they're susceptible to breaking. And yet, oh, I've got the wrong blooming socket. I thought I had the right one. You can buy new clips, but I'd rather. Oh, what size is that then? Oh, I'll have to go back and get another socket. Right. So yeah, what I was saying is, yeah, you can get them off, but they do tend to break. But if you take the door trim panel off, you can push the centre of the clip securing pin through, which releases the tension on the clip, so you can take the trim off. So that's my preferred way of doing it, and it's only, there's 2 screws in there, and then it's a case of just getting your trim removal tool in and just undoing the poppers. I've got one that's broken up there that I want to replace anyway. So, and I think it's the same problem on the rear door. The top clip was broken. I've got a box of different size clips on. Should be able to find one. I'm going to go back and get another socket. Now, I thought that was maybe a 10. I thought, oh, it's a bit big, it's a bit small for a 10. I thought, oh, it's an 8. No, it's a 9. That's better. What an odd size. 9mm. So, one end of the rubbing strip, whatever you want to call it, just got this little 9mm, not an 8, not a 10, but 9mm bolt that just holds that end on, and then there's just 2 Phillips screws that hold this handle onto the door. Just need to remove him, and then take this bit of trim off that goes around the door handle, and then just release the clips. On that. Should have got me whizzy gun to do this, really. Would be much quicker. But never mind. Oh. They're always it's always difficult to find the head once you started partially undoing these. There we go. Okay, and then you just turn it, and out it comes. Simple as that. And I can't remember which way this goes now, whether it's towards me or if it's away from me. It's just, there we go, just slides off. And then it's a case of just teasing that between the door panel and the trim panel. Just work your way along and just pop them off. One, 2, 3, 4. When they get a bit older, they do pop off a lot easier. So there we go. Don't go too mad, because you can break these as well. These do break quite easy, but these are more easy to. Oh no, there isn't one up there. That one up there. I wonder why that. Oh, I see. I thought that maybe there was a broken one here, but there's not one there at all. And I can see what's happened. This is just with age. It's come away. So I think while the door panel's off, I think what I might do is just put some Evo stick in there, clamp that together, and that'll make a nice tight, more pleasing gap rather than coming away from the door panel. So I'm just going to put that there a minute, and then, I mean, this has been off before because I've had to do the door lock, if you remember. So I'll just take you in and see if I can show you. Let's just hold that up there. Get my torch. Now, I don't know if, oh yes, might be able to just see that. So there, see that there? It's very difficult to get in there actually. Trying to focus in on it. Anyway, you might just make out along there somewhere. I can't see it from here. There we go, there's one there. In the centre of that, you can push that through and it releases the tension on the clip. and you just do that on all of them, and it saves breaking them. So I'll just push the centre of them through. All you need is a screwdriver like that, just as simple as that. You just push it in. Yeah. And it takes the clip off with the trim rather than leaving the clip on the door. And it just saves breaking them. And then you've got the problem of trying to source some more. Unless you go to the dealers, the ones you buy online are normally pretty rubbish. So let's see. I guess I'll top off now. Should do without too much trouble. Let's just bring it around there. There we go. It's starting to come off now. Just run that along. Just be easy with it. Might need to push it through just a little bit further. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back round the other side and push it through a bit further. I need to get another tool just to do that. This is what I was trying to explain. So this door trim beauty strip or rubbing strip, whatever you want to call it, is held on by these clips. So you fit these clips to the actual door, you can see there, that pushes through the hole in the door, and then that little button in the middle, you push that in, and then that secures that tight against the door panel, and then you put your trim back on afterwards and it just clips on. You can remove this door trim strip without going to the lengths I went to by taking the door panel off and pushing the centre through to release its tension. But doing it that way, these break very easily, and you can break these legs off. They can break off very easily, and then you've got to go. I don't even know if these are still available or not. Maybe they are, I don't know. You can buy some aftermarket ones, but they're not as good. Yeah, better off keeping the genuine ones. So just going that little bit extra more by stripping the door panel off, and that I can reuse these. So there's 3 in total. So you've got the nut at the end here that holds it on that end, and then you've just got 3, one, well, at different intervals. So anyway, I've got them off. Let's make a start. I'm going to do the same with the rear door, and then we'll start stripping this back, the paintwork back. I'm by no means a bodywork or paintwork expert. You know, I'm just an enthusiast. You know, I'll have a go at anything. So it's not a forte of mine doing any bodywork by any means. I don't try and make out I am. So I'll just do the best I can. So, you know, you try and use the equipment you can put your hands on, and, you know, do your best. So let's have a go, see if I can rectify this problem on these 2 doors. And I did buy myself a new sanding block because this dent in the driver's door was quite a long scrape and a dent in the corner. When I painted it the first time, or repaired it and painted it, it looked really good. But then when you stood at certain angles, you could see I hadn't made such a good job. It was a bit ripply. And of course, you know, when you're sanding by hand and that, it's not the best way to do it really, unless you're really, really good at it and you're a professional, which I'm not. You know, but us, you know, enthusiasts and that, we sort of have a go and do the best we can. So to try and make a better job of it the second time round, I bought this tool. So I've actually bought this sanding block, which is adjustable. So if you've got any slight contours in your bodywork, or you know, you can adjust it on the handle here. There's a locking nut just there, and you can twist this either way, and you can make it concave or convex, or you can make it flat like I've got it. So you know, you've got this sort of thing going on, so you can sand smoothly. So I've bought a roll of this sanding paper. Whether I've got the right grade, I'm not sure, but I can't remember what this is now. 180, P180. So is it? No, what am I talking about? That's all around here. There's different side. What have I got? 240. I've got 240. Maybe I should have gone for a bit of a coarser grade, but should we? I don't know how much. I'm going to film with this. Oh yeah, I don't want to make it too boring for you. You know, rubbing down, re-skimming, and then flattening and painting and etc, etc. So somebody gave me these quite aggressive little sanding sheets. I think these are P80, so 80 grit. I think these are for like knocking down your filler once you've initially put it on, and then getting it down to desired level you want. But I've decided to use these just to knock back all this problem area on here. So I'm just trying to, the affected areas is sand it right back, get rid of all the problem areas where it's all the paint is cracked and crazed and that, get it all knocked right back, and then decide what I'm going to do, because I know like there was a dent there, and even though it feels reasonably smooth, I can slightly detect a bit of a dip. So that's where that big long flat sander will help me get the desired contour that I need. So I'm just going to carry on, knock this right back, all the affected areas, and then give the whole panel, two bottom panels here, a really good sand back, and then I'll re-skim where I've done the initial repairs, and then sand it back with my block and see if I can make a better job of it. So this is going to take a while doing this, so you're not going to want to watch an hour or so of me doing this by hand. Yeah, I could get me DA sander out and do this, but I can't be bothered to move the car over there by the garage and connect up the airline and compressor and all that. So I'm quite happy to sit there in the sun doing this. So I'm going to do this all by hand, and then I'll bring you in and have a look, and you can see where I'm at before I go on to the next stage, of preparation. Whether I'm doing this right or wrong, I don't know. You just do it how you think you should do it. You can go on the internet and have a look and get tips from professionals and that. But you can watch lots of different videos and they all say something different. So I'm just gonna carry on with this process and get it all good again, hopefully. I mean, I've had problems with paint before, you know. I painted the Jag and I had a couple of issues on that, and you know, because we're enthusiasts, you just go back and do it again, don't you? So trial and error is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, there's this white patch here. I don't know whether the camera can pick it up at the moment, but I've done it all, I'll show you. But there's a white patch there, that's filler, that's what I put in originally. Whether it's the filler that's caused this problem or whether it's the paints I used, I don't know. I'm very undecided whether to rattle can this, because I've got it in rattle cans this colour, or I can mix it up myself and do it with my compressor and my spray gun. I don't know yet. I'll see. It's quite a lot to do for a rattle can. I mean, the priming processes and that I should just do with rattle can, but the base coat and the clear coat, it might pay me just to do it with my compressor and spray gun. So let's see. And but what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a sealer primer as well to try and prevent this happening again. I've got that where I can mix it up and do it with the spray gun, but I did buy some pre-made up in some rattle cans and I don't need a lot of it, so that'll probably be rattle canned, but the final stage is we'll probably just do it properly, I think. Anyway, I'm going to carry on and do this, and we'll catch back in a little while. All the problem areas have been, I've knocked all the problem areas right back, and because I've used quite a coarse paper to knock this all back, I now need to do some different grades of paper to really smooth it out and get rid of all the deep scratches, because otherwise they'll show through on the finished paint job. So want to eliminate all that. I mean, one thing I would really like to learn is how to paint properly, you know, preparation and, you know, all the different stages. I'd really love to know how to do it properly, but that's never going to happen, not at my age now. So I'll just do it the best way I think is right. But yeah, let's try and get a really good finish on this. Whether this is the right way to do it, or the right process, not really 100% sure. But I'm just going to wet flat this whole panel all the way along and on the back door. So I'm using 240 grit at the moment, and I want to start eliminating all the deep scratches that I put in here, knocking back all the damaged area. So once I've done that, I might have to go up to a higher grade paper. I'm just trying to be extra careful not to go over onto the wing and scratch it. But there was a little scab at the bottom of the wing here, whether you can see that or not. I've ground that off with a little Dremel because I sort of just touched that bit in with a brush. Yeah, I could spray the whole bottom of the wing, but I don't really want to do that, so I'll just do a little touch and repair there. So this will take a little while to get to the desired surface preparation that I need, and then we'll move on from here onto whatever the next step's going to be, and let's see how we progress. So you're not going to want to watch a load of this or any time lapse, so I'll catch up with you when I get to the next step. All prepped up. I did wet and flat it with 240 to get rid of most of the scratches. At this stage I don't think I'm too worried, because I've got to put skimmer filler now, especially there along that long line, bit of there. So just going to knock some filler up and give it a skim. First skimmer filler on. I should have been a bit more smarter really. Maybe used a slightly bit less hardener because of the weather, because it did start to go off quite quickly. So I did do the correct size or measurements of filler versus hardener, but I think the heat we're experiencing today has set it off a bit quicker, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to give it its first sand over with my new tool. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'll crack on. We're all masked up, ready to go. I've done the etch primer. I'm just waiting for that to flash off. I'm just going to give it a very, very light sanding. It's got a little bit of roughness to it, so I'm just going to knock that back. Then I'm just going to go on with some grey primer, and then we'll start colour coats and the clear coat. Alright, time's getting on now. I'm going to crack on and get this done. I'll have to turn you around in a minute so you can see. So this is going to be a bit of a two-part thing. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to prime it, base coat it, clear coat it, then polish it up, put trim back on, and that'll be in the next episode. So you know, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, whatever. You know, if you got this far, thanks very much, appreciate it. And let me just turn you around and just show you where we are. So I flattened back the sealer. I'm going to give it some grey primer, etc, etc, etc. It's not really the perfect conditions really for spraying, is it? I'm outside of the driveway. Yeah, I could have dragged the Jag out of the garage, got it in there. I'm only doing those two little panels at the bottom of the doors, so I'll just take a chance, you know. It'll come good. Again, just a quick footnote on this video. The editor pulled me up on just to explain that the sanding pad block thing, the adjustable thing, that I was showing what I'd bought and what I was using in the video. So it was actually purchased by me. There was no sponsorship at all. He just wanted me to make that clear. Not that I'm by any means anywhere near the heady heights of getting sponsorship. This channel's probably never going to get nowhere near that. But that's not what it's about for me. It was just about putting some videos out about some old chap with his cars doing different things, you know, bit of painting, bit of welding, mechanical stuff, and you know, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, so he just wanted me to make that, just to point that out. And apologies for no video last week. I was on my holidays. 2-week cruise around the Canaries. Smashing. Anyway, it's back to reality now. See you on the next one. Bye.